can't make Steve debate you or listen to your qualifications as a end of the driveway blue shirted warrior. Be like the first take, but more boring. And instead of Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, it's you and a listener who works for the government. We each have a question like that, and we each answer one. Explain it to the world. Mysteries of the World Explained.
No, History's Mysteries. I mean, I think that...
Histories of Mysteries? Histories Mysteries, or Histories and Mysteries.
Like,
this is important.
I like
this is
Histories of Mysteries. We won't solve anything, but we'll just tell when the mystery came about.
What a pleasure to be in the presence of somebody's body who so betrays him on a weekly basis. It is an honor and a pleasure, sir, to sit across this folding table from you and listen to this every week.
Pleasure is all mine.
It's 5 early contenders, Steve, for next year's Steve 16.
Already 5, huh?
Or we had another clever name, just another thing we've forgotten. We had another name if we expanded it to 32, which at this rate, we might be able to fill a 64-team field.
It was the Throaty 2, right?
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, that has to have been it. It's perfect.
If it's not, then somebody remind us what it was.
Yeah,
but I think
do.
that's perfect.
And while you're at reminding us of that, if you could go ahead and send us a new headphone splitter.
Yeah.
Because
single quarter-inch male to dual quarter-inch female. Stereo, of course. We don't want to be listening to single channel. It's no fun.
Because we tested it and didn't work. Mine would be in one ear, yours wouldn't work. And then mine would. It was always the opposite. So I unplugged it, like the IT guys always say.
Yeah.
Plugged it back in.
Right back in.
Works great. You played the intro music.
Gone, huh? You lost it?
I have like 75% of one ear. But I don't want to touch it. It's not worth it because then we're going to lose everything. And it's just going to end up being you and me, no headphones, shouting at each other across the table, not knowing how loud we are.
Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
We paid to upgrade microphones. It took 18 weeks to buy shock mounts. We bought a really nice mixer. We're really stingy on the cheapest and easiest thing to upgrade us. These headphones.
I have it pulled up right here. I have headphone splitters pulled up.
Oh, what do I owe you?
I mean, these are going to cost us upwards of... I mean, if we want to go crazy and go the Ticino brand.
Whoa!
I know. I thought the same thing. It's going to cost us $9.99.
Okay.
If we want to be cheap and go with the Onvien brand.
Oh, God.
$6.69.
Huh.
Do you want to go real cheap? We go Hosa's. Hosa YPP-118. $5.45.
Oh, we could buy 2 of those.
Yeah.
Just get it out of the way.
Or we could just buy one good one instead of the...
You know, I've always been a quantity over quality guy
instead
here.
Of 2 garbage ones.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure at some point you're going to get a good one.
Sure. I mean, they can't... and to be fair, the one we have, it's not bad, but it's old. And if I remember,
it's bad. It's bad because it doesn't...
It wasn't always bad, though. I mean, it was an okay one for what it was being
Isn't this
used for.
the one that's actually taped shut?
This was the one where while recording... Or right before, I think... No, I went to plug in my headphones, and it split down the middle like a log.
Yeah.
And instead of just going, we'll just figure something out or whatever, no, you, smashed it back together, but now it's super fragile and very touchy. Yeah. So, again, we got very nice microphones. Mm-hmm. We got a very nice, for what we need, a very nice mixer.
Did we ever tell the story about what I did with the one microphone?
No.
Oh, do you remember?
We had
actually. I don't know if we.
Statute of limitations, is that passed?
I don't know. Let's just say we ordered 2 microphones. One of them wasn't working to ideal conditions, so I simply ordered. But they wouldn't return it. They wouldn't accept a return.
Yeah, a weird policy.
So I just ordered one from another location.
Yeah.
And then we put the one that wasn't working well into that box and sent it back. Yeah, because they had a better return policy.
Yeah, a much more lenient return policy.
Well, a return policy at all.
Yeah, you know
other
what?
than none.
I don't feel that bad about it because this other location in question did not notice. There's no question that this went far from noticed.
Yeah.
But hey, it got us our 2 microphones. But it negates the point. We spent the proper amount of money for microphones, and we did not overspend because we didn't have to buy a third.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the nice new mixer.
Yeah.
But this $6 to $9.99 piece, we're holding out hope that maybe she'll come back into form someday, I think.
Just start working again.
Yeah, there has to be, right? There has to be some light at the end of the tunnel for this mixer, or for this headphone splitter.
Well, I got some good news for you.
Okay, hit me.
We'll have it on Wednesday.
Oh,
I did it.
So so 545. So you like?
No. I went high end. I got the
boy, this
I went Ticino. I'm a Ticino man.
This should have been a discussion off the air where we could have hashed out the pros and cons. We looked at mixers for a year trying to figure out what we needed. Yet you willy nilly over here click around. Can't wait to throw Ticino.
Ticino. Actually, I think it's Ticino.
Ticino.
Ticino, yeah.
Okay, well, you just willy-nilly throw that into your cart, and
boom, it's on its way.
I hope it doesn't fit.
I'm a little upset with our studio sponsor, by the way. Is it just me, or does it seem like the Prime 2-day shipping?
It's got to be done.
Is turning into Prime
3 to 4
3-day shipping.
Yeah, there's some items that, and they warn you, and a lot of them they warn you. And I don't know if they're just changing like their cutoff times or something, but yeah, I've definitely noticed that where if you don't order by like noon on Tuesday, it's going to be 3 days.
Yeah, it's can't say I'm happy about that, but luckily we don't need to record before we're not going to record again for another week after this, so
right,
we should be okay, but it's the principle.
Yeah,
it's
that's what you're paying for. That's what you're paying for.
Exactly.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention, Steve. Walking up to the house today, I noticed the Jeep. Oh, yes.
That one was clean, too.
Getting an early go.
That was clean.
Now, in case you're... And again, I understand a lot of people probably can't hear this loud, so that was another throat noise. Keeping track. I've been keeping very dutiful notes. This is the 6th occurrence, just that I think I might be able to capture, of Steve's throat already creating what could very possibly be a 64-team bracket.
Do you think we could expand it to 128?
We would have to start in November. So you've got 7 months to get these all out of your system.
Well, I've gotten, 6 in 2 weeks?
Yeah, this is 6 in... Well, we had March 25, 1. You skipped a week. You must have been feeling good.
I'm on pace for roughly 12 a month.
Yeah.
We have 7 months until November, so we'll get we're gonna have we already have we'll have 84 of them.
So we either pare it down, or we include some returning candidates. Maybe we bring the Fat Mouth 4 from last year as returning,
or we just start being really picky. Like whenever I do anything that's
it's
clear my throat.
It's in. Yeah, it's going to be like Thanksgiving week, and I'm just sitting here silent, staring at you, waiting to make a noise.
I just sit here with my mouth slightly agape, like.
Yeah, we're not even recording a podcast. Yeah. Poke your belly a little bit. See if you can wake it up.
Kind of shift in your chair.
Yeah.
Wiggle a little.
See if you can wake it up. Before I get back to the story, I'm sorry. I stepped all over the intro again.
Oh, yeah. It is Sunday, April 22nd, 2018, the year of our Lord. Actually, a Sunday record for the first time in, a month probably?
Yeah, scheduling and stuff, and later in the day though. Ugh.
Yeah, this is rough because I still have all of my regular work to do.
Yeah,
it's been a hell of a weekend. They're just been jam packed. Met a ton of people last night. A ton of side gig listeners. Also a ton of podcast listeners.
Yeah.
At the Side Gigs night show.
Sure.
Great time. Met so many people.
Any shirts?
There were a few shirts.
Were there a few podcast shirts?
There were a few shirts. Nikki had apparently our Lee Harvey Oswald shirts are not 1 and 2 of 2. they are 1 and 2 of 3. Nikki has number 3 of 3.
Well, there goes my eBay price. I mean, it's not so exclusive anymore.
Nikki had her shirt on last night, and but yeah, we saw Nikki, we saw Leanne, mother of Chuck Evan.
That has to, going back to Nikki, that has to raise so many eyebrows if you're sitting next to her or near her, right? Because the shirt we're talking about, we have yet to take this picture. Apparently, this 25-second endeavor eludes us to do
No,
this.
it's happening today.
Happening today, I'm told.
You got your shirt there?
Yep.
I got my shirt upstairs.
Yeah.
Washed it yesterday.
Hey, happening today is what you're telling me.
Happening today.
This shirt, let me, I don't want to miss any of the details.
There's a lot of...
So again, Nikki was wearing this at a public event where, how many people does that place hold?
2,400?
2,400. So let's say 12 probably knew this podcast or familiar with it. Maybe 25.
Yeah, we'll say 20.
20 to 25 is what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And this shirt is a stick figure drawing of a man, happy man, with a book titled The Steve and Kyle Podcast, Volume 1.
Look at that.
And he is putting it on a bookshelf loaded with other books. And there on the ground is a box of books. Mm-hmm. And below that, who could forget, is Lee Harvey Oswald, number 1 librarian. But the number 1 is in crosshairs. Because, again, if you're not familiar, Lee Harvey Oswald is painted as a bad man.
Right.
Because he had a rough day at the office.
Again, you're refusing to believe that he is... you think that he has been vilified throughout history simply because of his worst day on the job.
Vilified unfairly. A man who presumably boxed books better than anybody in
where are you getting this
West Texas.
Where are you getting the knowledge? Where are you getting the information?
Yeah.
Did you call his employer and say, hey, other than, the incident...
How was Lee?
I was a good guy. Talk to you in the break room.
Yeah. Did Lee not get his raise that day?
Yeah. Bring in leftovers that the missus made and say, "Hey, potluck."
Yeah. By all accounts, Steve, and by all accounts, I mean
by your account.
By the research I've done based on Lee Harvey Oswald's librarian book boxing career. Mm-hmm. He was a knowledgeable book boxer, a studious book boxer.
Took his job very seriously.
And that is a man who was, first one in, last one out every day at that library.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah, he had a high motor.
Still not a library, by the way. It's the book depository.
Had a high motor. It's a real go-getter.
Okay.
And he had one rough day at the job. Who knows what happened? Maybe the wife, maybe he caught the wife cheating. Maybe, like I said, maybe somebody stole his lunch out of the fridge. There's a litany of things that could have gone wrong that the butterfly effect took over and happened to cause President Kennedy to lose his life that day.
Yeah, I mean, who can blame the guy?
Listen,
just boxing books.
If I tell you,
accidentally pulled out a rifle.
Yeah, if I tell you tomorrow, Steve, you're at work. Steve, I got some news, man. We lost an affiliate. We got to cut your pay 5%. Mm-hmm. Who wouldn't pull out a rifle and shoot a passing politician at that point? I mean,
it happens every day.
I mean, you can internalize it, sure, be that guy. But a guy like Lee Harvey Oswald is being held accountable for expressing his feelings in public in a way that, maybe didn't sit well with some people, like Jackie.
I feel like the things you're saying are going to get us flagged by some organization.
We'll edit that out. Can you be flagged, for talking about...
Yes.
A previous assassination?
Oh, I don't think so. No, I mean, it's history.
Right.
It's history of the mystery.
Our obvious, beautiful. I'm glad you mentioned it, Steve. That's the sidecast that we'll be launching next week, where Steve and I literally tell you when a mystery began and leave it up to you, the listener, to figure out the solution, the end of the mystery? Is there an answer? We don't know.
Exactly. It's very open-ended.
Yeah, we're going to give you a date and time, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
I just got a great text from my wife.
Okay. Boy,
she had to run out to the store.
Me, by the way.
She's what?
She is mad at me, by the way.
For what?
Not currently, but I still think there's some internalized rage from her misunderstanding my musical expertise.
Oh, that. Yeah.
About violining children.
That old thing.
But that's for another day.
She just sent me a text. She's at the grocery store currently. Do you want me to buy ice cream for a taste test?
Boy, okay.
I already said yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got to come back to it because this has to be scheduled and it has to be talked about much more in depth.
But 4 different kinds or 3?
So what do you think? Because we obviously have the Halo Top, the Ben and Jerry.
Yeah.
And then I think we do a standard, an Edie or whatever. But do you think it's necessary to include a store brand, or should we just go with 3?
I told her 3 or 4 of the same flavor.
Same flavor, which I'm guessing the only one you're going to find is cookie dough.
Either that or just like some kind of... I'm sure that they all have just a regular chocolate.
I wonder if they do. I don't know. We'll come back to it. So four threads ago, I started telling you that on my way up to your house here, Steve. I noticed a beautiful beacon, a shining beacon of what I can only call failure. And it's sitting on the right side of your driveway, and it's a 4-door Jeep. Do you have any answers about... Now, you recapped last week the headache and the heartache that you've gone through in your endeavor to get literally just someone to look like, knock it on the hood and say, yep, good to go. You have been unsuccessful as to this point. I thought for sure today I'd see it in one way or another. Parked in the driveway with the exact same license plate.
Has not moved.
What? Do you have any updates? Is this... Are we done? Is Big Boy Vroom Vroom up the sandhill on your birthday done? And are we now back to selling this Jeep? And maybe
selling it for scrap?
Yeah.
Because it's in limbo. It can't be registered.
Right.
It can't be driven.
Yeah, it's this weird, like...
it's basically like if somebody were to start a museum, they could put it in there, and that's about it.
It's like Julian Assange, or what was that? Tom Hanks, The Terminal. Where they didn't want to let him in the United... You're stuck in the airport because they won't let you in the country. That's what your Jeep is right now.
Yeah.
So you've had one more week to, what I can only assume, fester. And knowing you were proactive. Maybe you drove out there. Maybe a couple emails fired off. Probably some phone calls. Where do we stand? Big Boy Vroom Vroom up the sandhill is less than 5 weeks away.
Yeah. It's getting down to it, isn't it?
Oh, you got to be nervous.
I have an update.
Yes! Okay.
What are you hoping this update is?
Part of me is hoping they had to schedule an appointment, and it's like 8 weeks away. And I know that seems cruel.
Yeah, the state doesn't do anything like that. They would never take a really long period of time to do something simple. That's
why I'm hoping it's like 6 to 8 weeks away. Because then that means you ran around.
So it could get in just under the deadline.
Yeah, the big birthday trip is being planned like the day before while the guy's inspecting your vehicle.
Like, come on, man, speed it up.
Yeah, come on, it's 1:30. The hills are already getting dry on the sand dunes.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to drive up a dry hill after 1:30.
Do you want a wet hill?
Yeah.
Like when you're...
ideally it's wet hill at 9 a.m.
Okay, so like a morning dew on the sand as you go up the sand hill.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Okay. I can't believe I have to explain this to you.
You have to send me your YouTube channel of those the big boy trucks going around that you watch.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Is that what it is? That's your free time?
Yep.
You've moved on from this old house. Oh God. we're back to this. Now, in case you're wondering, Steve, if you hear any shuffling, Steve is once again reconfiguring his microphone.
Yeah.
If you're wondering
No,
what...
I got it.
Oh,
I'm good.
Yeah. Good. How is it worked out with you that yours comes out all the time, but this one I have not touched?
I think I move my mic a lot more than you do.
Okay.
And every little movement probably compresses this plastic
just a
table.
little bit tighter and a little bit worse, yeah.
Look at yours, though. Look how much it's
it's
caved
pinched
in.
down. Yeah. There's an inch indent into this folding table. That's why we need an APS 4.0.
Yeah. Coming
April 2018.
April 2020.
Breaking ground next week.
2020.
Come on!
Keeps getting pushed back.
Man, that is... You must be taking on a lot of projects. Or... maybe something with this Jeep has come up that I don't know about. So you say you have an update.
I do.
Now, is this update from the state, or is this update from you personally, and I can go find a Craigslist post?
No, this is an update not from me.
All right. What do we have going on?
Late last week, actually middle of last week, I had just kind of let it go for a couple days because I don't know, I was just frustrated with it. So I got the bug again, like mid last week. I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call. Looked up the list of phone numbers again. And there was one on the list that I hadn't tried yet for some reason. I had called him and his voicemail, I got through to his voicemail, said, if you're calling for a vehicle inspection, call this number. Great.
So you're being routed now. That's a positive sign other than dead air. No voicemail.
Yeah. So I called that number, and it was just a answering service, basically, and it said, leave your number, we'll get back to you. So 3 days later, still hadn't heard back from him. Because
super efficient.
Because why would I?
There's, like I said, it's salvage season. That's what they call it up here in Michigan. And from March to the end of April, phone lines are booked with people getting their...
nothing but salvage.
Getting their salvage vehicles inspected. And you're just, you're too late. You're on the bottom end of that laundry list.
Apparently. So I waited a couple days, hadn't heard back. Called the number again and spoke to someone. And they said, oh, you have to talk to Deputy so-and-so. Okay. What do I have to do? How do I get in touch with him? Well, he's on duty right now. Hey.
All right.
Okay.
Patched through to the patrol car, I'm guessing?
I said, all right, what do I do? They said, call this number, speak to somebody there. They will give a message to him. He will get back to you. So, okay. Called them. Told them I needed to talk to them. I mean, at this point, it's like, I'm like 5 calls in now.
Right. You've been transferred 3 times. And
just give me the actual number I need to call.
Right. And
so,
the big solution is, even after all this transferring, leave a message for someone to give to somebody else. Like, that can't be the most efficient way to do that, which means it should not be surprising that this state does it that way.
So I actually spoke to someone. They said, yep, he's on duty. I will give him the message, and he will get back to you. Okay. So my expectations still very low. Expected nothing to come of this. Less than an hour later, I got a call from this man.
On duty, maybe a little bored. Maybe it's one of those speed trap guys. You think he's like parked in one of those turnarounds on the expressway, just shooting the speed gun at people, and decided, I got some free time. I'll call this guy back.
You know, I couldn't really gather any of that information from our conversation.
Okay, you didn't ask. Hey,
I didn't say. Are you shooting people with the speed gun?
you trapping people out there, pig?
Wink, am I right?
Oh, them donuts, loser.
Bacon, right? Pig.
Yeah. You killing the unarmed kids lately?
No. Oh, man. You're just.
I mean, that's in the news. That's what I mean.
Yeah, very topical.
Yeah, like that'd be a joke. Right? They'd probably laugh. Oh, I had one last week.
Good one. So, I have an appointment. Wednesday night.
Oh, okay. Look at you. So you have to bring this out to like one of their places? He can't come to you?
I have to drop it off there.
Oh.
We'll issue, though.
Oh, boy, you don't have a ride, do you?
What takes place on Wednesday night?
Oh, here we go. And it begins.
Wednesday night's our first softball game of the season.
Yep. Bummer for you. I am retired.
So, don't worry though.
Good.
I got a workaround.
What's that? Taking
Well,
a trolley?
Well, he told me. He said the whole process is going to take him like 2 hours.
That's it.
To inspect the vehicle, and then there's a bunch of paperwork. Because of course there is. Because it can't just be easy.
I don't know why. I guess I just hoped and thought that like he would come out, look at it, and like I said, like you do when you're a kid, you put your butt on the grill and then just try to rock it back and forth.
Yeah, or do like the old timey thing where they come out and literally kick the tires.
Yeah.
Seems like a strong one.
Yeah, and then ask you questions like, got new oil in there?
Would you go 1030 or 1040?
Synthetic? Semi-synthetic?
Yeah. Long life? What's it got on? What about the miles? What do you got on there? 44,000? Huh.
It's the
that's not bad.
It's the PSI on that spare tire. Put the code. And then send you on your way. So you're telling me this poor sap has to sit there for 2 hours and look at this Jeep that you put together with Bob in your garage.
Yeah, he's got to flick the headlights on and off.
Yeah. So like an oil change that they do in 6 minutes.
Right. It seems like it's going to be that, basically. When you get your oil change and then they say, right turn signal, left turn signal, put your hazards on.
Right. So you have to go through that, but multiplied by 80.
Yeah.
Because it takes 2 hours.
Yeah, apparently for some reason it takes that long. So I'm dropping it off at 5 o'clock.
That is weird.
And that's going to follow me. I think he works second shift.
Okay.
So I think what he does is he said normally I start all my inspections at 5 o'clock. So I'm dropping it off at 5 o'clock. He said for mine it'll probably be a little. I guess he just knows the vehicles well enough at this point because it's what he does. He's like, oh yeah, for that it should be about an hour and a half, which is going to get us to 6:30, and it is probably
it's a hike
from where I have to drop it off to our game. 40 minute drive.
Oh man.
I think what I'm going to do is just leave it.
The whole night? Or get it
I'm going to leave it there, either go pick it up after our game or pick it up the next day. Because I was like, oh crap, we got a game on Wednesday, and that reminded me. Because I hadn't put all of our games in our schedule yet, so I looked at my schedule, I was like, no, I'm open. But I didn't want to call him back and try and reschedule because
you would never hear from him.
It would have been like, oh, sorry, I can't do it the next day. I'll be on the moon then.
Yeah, sorry, got to go catch the speeders on the dark side this week. Of the moon.
So yeah, it's happening
Wednesday.
My prediction: it's going to go well, no issues. We're going to pass inspection. Mm-hmm. I'll be driving that thing Thursday.
Thursday to work.
Well, no, Thursday, Friday to work. Because Thursday I'll get off of work. I'll go and get all the paperwork done and get my plates and all that.
Okay. So I can expect maybe this weekend you out, hitting the beach. Maybe throw your paddle board on top of your new Jeep.
Yeah, right after I go and buy my paddle board.
Your longboard then.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go longboard at the boardwalk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
You and your Jeep, you would drive by pull your sunglasses down, and the young women look at you. We're gonna have an '80s movie,
right? I was gonna say like an old beer commercial,
right? Yeah. But in this case, it's just because your car's ready.
Yeah. So maybe I'll swing by your house, pick you guys up, take you for a ride around the neighborhood,
see how the old 4-door runs.
Yeah. Hop in the back and go cruising.
So it's safe to say by next week on this very podcast, you and I will be able to craft the for sale listing for your Subaru.
Mm-hmm. I already have a potential buyer.
Wow, you already got a caller on the line.
Well, somebody who wants it, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen.
So you dangled the worm. You got a nibble.
I didn't even dangle it. Actually, I've had two people. Somebody on Twitter, somebody in Nashville, who listens to this podcast.
Did you tell them they're not getting a deal?
Oh yeah, it was like $40,000.
Yeah.
Down payment.
Yeah, and
then another $50,000, just because.
Boy, the Steve business tactics. It's hard to believe. This is a man who negotiates his own contract at that side gig. When you've heard things such as 1 year fully paid in advance, plus a $1,500 non-refundable security deposit. Mm-hmm. That's if you want to advertise on this here podcast.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a deal in the Subaru market, you're barking up the wrong tree.
Let me tell you about the 2016 Subaru Crosstrek.
Whoa, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a...
That's a manual, like a 18 speed, like a bike?
Yeah, it's
what it is?
That's 10 speed.
Yeah. But total sidetrack. Has there ever... How were you supposed to do the gears? Right?
Like on a 10 speed, you mean?
Like an 18. Like I had an 18 speed, and you feel like you're awesome. But on the sides, it just has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then like 1, 2, and 3 on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's all in multiples of like 1, 2, and 3. So if I want the 14th gear, I can't get it. What if 14's the magic?
Well, 14, then you would have to go to
6.
Yeah. And then
by 2.
Well, no. See, what you got is...
Oh, no, 7 by... No, there's no 7.
Because you have 1, 2, and 3. Those are like your main gears.
Okay.
So if you want 4th gear, you're going 1 and then 3 on the other side.
No, that can't be right.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Why would you go 1 on the left and 4 on the right?
Well, because it's 1... It's 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4 1 5 1 6. Then there's 2 1 2 2 2 3 2 4 2 5 2 6 and 3 3.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Here I'm doing multiplication.
No
reason.
No wonder why you lost the big race.
No kidding.
Everyone else is breezing past you.
I'm some jackwagon going up a hill.
And you're forgetting to carry the 2.
Some idiot going up a hill on my mountain bike in 17th gear thinking it's 4th. Why is this thing hugging so hard?
Yeah, you're the guy that's riding up the hill that is standing on the pedals.
Yeah.
Trying so hard.
Yeah, you see my left leg's quivering every time I push. By the way, as a 31-year-old man, I am finding this out no less than 20 years too late. That is truly astonishing to me. So you're telling me if on the left side it's on 1, and on the right side I have it on 5, that would be 5th gear.
Yeah.
And if I put that thing on 2 and 5, that would be the 11th gear.
2 and 5? Yeah. Yeah, so if you're riding along, you're cruising along, you're in 1 on the left, 1 on the right. You go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Then when in one swift motion, you go down to 2 on the left, up to 1 on the right.
Yep.
Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then again, down to 3, up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
This is, not kidding,
mind-blowing.
The biggest revelation I can say I've ever had as an adult.
Okay. Well, it's almost, we're into bike riding season now.
Yeah.
So I figure at some point in the next couple of months, I'm going to send you a text like I did last year saying, want to ride bikes and get ice cream?
Oh, I already can't wait.
And now you're going to be flying past me.
I'm going to be able to be...
I'm on my single-speed BMX bike.
Your little beach cruiser, like I said, goes along well with your longboard and your paddleboard you're going to throw on your Jeep out there.
Yeah. Got a bike rack for it and everything.
So I'm going to be able to be out there telling you what gear I'm in. Like, no big deal, Steve. Just popped her into 11th.
Hold on. Let me downshift from 17th to 16th.
Yeah, 11's a little tough. We're about to get a hill. I'm going to bring it down to 8. That is truly amazing, which this coincides with last week. I don't even know what happened. We received a little bit of hate for our lack of understanding about nuts.
Oh boy, yeah, that was in hindsight really
Very
dumb.
stupid.
Very stupid when somebody just simply posted, providing zero proof, yet not needed.
Sure.
When they simply posted, "Of course, nuts have shells.
Yeah.
All of them do." Huh. Well, when you put it that way.
Yeah. Again, this podcast is helmed by nearly 70 years of adult. And we couldn't figure out that all nuts had shells.
Yeah.
Boy, hang that on a billboard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So if you could... wait, what's
I think it's Carl.
What's the slogan?
That's a good question.
Or do we just do all nuts have shells?
Yeah. Oh, my... You're like, hey, it's wacky. Yeah, all nuts have shells. ANHS.
Yeah, it's like a play on words. Are they talking about like pistachios, or are they talking about like two nutty guys?
These guys are wacky and they're live in the morning. Okay, so a couple weeks in a row, my mind is being blown by the dumbest stuff ever.
Yeah, that like 10 speeds of nuts. Make a note of that. I'll enjoy listening to that in the intro next week.
Oh my god, that is so spot on. Good lord. Oh, I am so embarrassed. Okay.
All
yeah.
right. All right.
What were we talking about? So the Jeep Wednesday night.
Yeah.
You'll be driving it to work Friday. We'll be cruising the town on this weekend.
Cruising the boulevard. Yeah. With the Freedom panels out.
Is that the doors? So
No. The doors are called doors.
Okay.
Freedom panels are it's like the removable roof.
I feel like it's more of a safety hazard than something like cool, you know?
Why is that?
I feel like you're taking the roof off. Like that's inherently more dangerous than if there's a roof on.
How many times has your roof of your car kept you from flying out?
Sure.
0.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've never flown out of my car with the roof on.
I've never flown out of the Jeep with the roof off.
Safe to say the sample size, though, maybe a touch different. Like, roof off. Freedom panels. Know what we're calling it?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Boy, you guys just can't get out of your own way, can you? There in the Jeep Club.
So true. Oh, I wish I could argue with it, but it's a stupid name. It's like it's like when they called French fries Freedom Fries.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
Because everyone hated France.
Yeah, they're not helping us in Iraq. Screw those guys.
Yeah, we're not eating their dumb fries. Like they don't even. That's not eat. They're not theirs.
Yeah, no, I have no idea where that came from.
No.
You know where you can find that out in the history
of the mystery.
Coming next week at their sidecast. You made an offhanded remark, Steve, and you alluded to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's back. Got a busy week this week. Oh, yes.
What have I told you? That after 6 months of refusing to admit that the return was imminent, the return is now imminent. Imminent. Oh, let me back this up. What have I told you that after 6 months of flip-flopping about the imminent return, in which 0 flip-flopping was done, it was mainly just flopping.
Floppy foot.
What have I told you that the return is now imminent? What have I told you that nearly 1 year to the day, exactly, the man returned to the throne?
Nope.
What have I told you?
Didn't want to.
That you will be taking the field in just days. The Steve and Kyle podcast proudly presents Kyle. He's back?
I like the idea that all of our 30 for 30s now have to end on a question
with an up inflection.
With an upward inflection and a question mark in the title. Yeah, like, is it really? Yeah, it's here. Now, this is a topic that I would argue rightfully so dominated our podcast last summer and bled into your side gig even.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Because you injured your foot nearly a year ago.
Yeah, it'll be actually. So we're recording on April 22nd, which is a Sunday. It will the night we take the field, Steve, will be April 25th. That will be 1 year to the day.
Yeah,
that I ruptured my Achilles.
A day that will live in infamy, they call it.
Yeah,
that's the granddaddy of them all.
Days?
Yeah,
granddaddy of all the days in infamy.
Yep.
1 year to the day this Wednesday, we take the field once more, Steve, as Team Remax undergoes Season 2.
Yeah. Lineup has been tweaked a bit. We lost about half the team.
There's way too much turnover.
Big turnover. Yeah, we had a lot of seniors graduate last year.
Yeah.
Moving on to bigger and better things.
Our varsity squad last year brought us all the way to a first-round exit in the playoffs.
Yeah, but we gathered today, just hours ago, actually.
Yeah, you're still wearing your outfit?
Still wearing my Montgomery Biscuits shirt, which was
great shirt.
The shirt that I wore for our very first and final practice of the 2018 season.
Yeah.
2 days or 3 days before the season starts, we decided, let's get together. Met up at the park. All the fields were taken because everyone else had the same idea as us. It's the first day since last summer, weather-wise.
October, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the last decent day. So.
Yep. So we got together, about 6 or 7 of us?
Yeah, about 6 of us. Yeah.
Cy Nolan Ryan Young took the mound. Yeah. Was promptly hit in the chest with a line drive.
It's not funny.
Which propelled him to run into center field. Yeah, it was hit so hard.
This isn't funny, and I'm the last one who should be laughing at this. But if that guy doesn't go out to the pitcher's mound wearing catcher's gear, every game he's doing it wrong.
Yep.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
A target on his body.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about the disaster that happened to his leg last year, that the leg injury was what precluded... No, I don't think that was the same team as the one that wanted a fist fight.
No, I think it was.
Was it?
I think so.
Because I remember this game that he got hit, and then... that was the same
fist fight started because... I hit a ground ball to their pitcher.
Oh, right.
And then they said that they were going to be gunning for our pitcher, and then they hit him.
Because I thought this was the game where he stayed in, and then when he was running to second, the third baseman threw it to nobody at second base and hit Chris in the head.
Yeah, they threw it to Chris's head.
So, a bad year for both Chris and myself in terms of injury.
I would say, yeah. Although Chris is... He showed me his, because he got hit directly on the shin with a line drive. And he said it still scabs over, and a scab fell off yesterday.
It's 11 months since that thing happened, and it is still there. It's still like a black and blue mark right there, and yet he was out there today on the mound.
He was out there today on the mound. He was hitting fly balls to the outfield.
Yep.
We were practicing. The village drunk Rusty was there. He had to be on his best behavior because he had his kids with him.
Yep.
And couldn't be too drunk in front of them.
Yeah, he just stumbled in, sobered up on the field, like any good softball player does.
Yep. Yeah. There were some highlights. Nobody hit one out. Not quite yet.
That was the wind.
It's still in early spring form.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I'll say that I think the highlight was when you and I were shagging flies out in left center field.
Yeah.
Ball was hit over my head.
Yeah.
It didn't stop me, though, did it?
It was like the start of the Kentucky Derby, because I'm almost positive this horse was shot out of a gate. And he sprinted towards the wall.
My coat was shining.
Your hair was flowing behind you.
Mm-hmm.
And you made it, and you recognized Steve as a seasoned athlete now. Mm-hmm. But you probably weren't going to make it on your feet.
Yeah, exactly. The feet can only take you so far.
Yeah.
That's what they say in the softball world.
So like a gazelle in its prime, I see you launch And now you're what? You're 5'7".
7.
You looked 6'2" to me out there today, Steve.
As I was leveled out.
You were gliding, open air, to make this catch in practice, and you came up about 6 feet short.
Was it really that far?
It was a couple feet.
Man, it felt so much closer. I don't know why. As I laid out for it,
Yeah.
I had enough time to think, why are you doing this? This is unimportant.
Yeah, in practice.
Yeah. So, it was worth it though. It's worth it. It's good to see some of the old team together.
Yeah.
Good to meet the new guys on the squad.
Right. Yeah.
Looking forward to the pranks.
The hijinks.
Yeah.
Like the old the hot foot.
Yeah, hot foot. Where you just light someone on fire.
You just light their shoe on fire. No big deal.
Baseball was so much cooler back then.
What?
How do we haze the rookie?
Yeah.
Light him on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't know it. We'll all laugh. It'll be good.
Yeah. I mean, don't worry. The fact that their uniforms are 100% nylon and like a nylon polyester mix.
Right.
They'll be fine. It'll just melt to their skin.
No big deal. There's enough sweat there that it'll drown it. Mm-hmm. Won't light.
Yeah.
That begins Wednesday. Now I would be selfish, or nope, I'd be the opposite of selfish. Not selfish.
Greedy. No, that's
the
not,
same.
That's not at all the.
I don't even think I'm saying it right. But my highlight.
Wait, the opposite of selfish.
Unselfish. That it?
No, the opposite of selfish is when you give.
Caring, giving. So, to recap, nuts, 10 speeds, words. In an astronomical...
What is it called when you give a lot? Giving? Generous. There's the word.
What's it called when I want to drink this water bottle? Drinking, you say? What is this? If I didn't tell you that my highlight of this practice today, Steve, was the old stallion. Nope. I would be the old rancher getting back on the horse once more, Steve.
Yep. Yeah, the stallion doesn't get on the horse.
The old stallion jumps up on the horse for one last ride.
So you're dying?
Yeah. What an astronomically stupid thing to confuse. This whole conversation belongs in the annals of idiocy for how, again, nearly 70 years of adulthood can't figure these simple things like words out. My God.
Oh, man.
So, the old rancher, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Back on the horse today.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Sore, tired.
Little sore, okay.
Had a bit of a flashback, got out of the car, and my wife was there. Opened the trunk to get the cleats out.
You actually take yours out of the car? I just leave mine in there the whole time.
No, I leave them in there, but they're in my trunk.
Oh, okay.
So I had to. That's where I leave everything in the trunk. Take out the left shoe, see that it is delaced down to like two of those,
yeah.
Two of the holes.
So like the laces weren't just loosened the last time you took them off; they were removed.
Was quickly reminded that the last time I had this shoe on my foot, I had a healthy Achilles. And that the reason it was so loosened was because, like a baby, I did not want to take the shoe off because I was afraid it was going to hurt me more.
You actually thought that the shoe was holding your foot on.
Right. But when I was at the hospital, when we took the shoe off, I was like, oh my God, this is going to hurt. This is going to be so bad because any type of tug. So I just loosened it all the way, and any touch was, super sensitive and would hurt more. So put those suckers right back on, though, Steve.
Yeah,
didn't even hesitate.
Laced them right up.
Yeah, walked out there, and while walking out there, and I'd made this clear. I sent the group a message because even a week ago, I legitimately thought I am not playing. Mm-hmm. Cy Nolan, Ryan Young, Chris had sent me a message saying, hey, do we need a guy for next week? And I was very upfront with him. And I said, hey, I have no idea. I'm not handling it, and I don't think I'm playing. Mm-hmm. So he sent that to the group, sent the group into what can only be referred to as a frenzy. Within minutes, there was like 60 messages.
There were
stupid.
Lots of activity. Well, at that point, we had to... we just had to come up with a plan.
Yeah.
We were losing our skipper.
Sure.
And even though I never believed for a minute that you wouldn't be coming back this year, I was confident that you'd be back. Not that you were lying to us, but I knew that you would decide, I gotta play.
Man.
Get back. The old rancher doesn't walk away from the horse.
No.
You know?
The horse tells the rancher, you're done. You jump on me, I'm going to kill you. Like, that's where I need to get, apparently. Again, the last 2 times I've played softball, the last 2, I have had a broken nose from the arm of my own brother. And now a ruptured Achilles in what can only be referred to as a freak accident.
Yeah.
Yet here I am, 3rd time, 7 years that I'll have tried to play.
It's going to happen this year.
So I made it clear. I just said, hey, guys, you know what? I talked to Rusty. I talked to the town drunk on Facebook. Decided, you know what? Give it a go. I got to give it a shot. So I tell everybody, hey, guys, I'm coming back, but, you know, I am not in charge. I want that made very clear. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be the one held accountable for all of the nonsense. And also, I do not want to pitch. I can't.
Seems fair.
I can't get back. And I know, again, it wasn't even on the mound. Again, when I ruptured my Achilles, I was a few feet off of the mound turning around. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I still don't know if there's a divot. What there was, it doesn't matter.
Just some freak thing.
There's something about that area, like, it's like, oh, man, it's terrible. Like, whatever. It's in my brain now, right? So we're walking up. I reiterate that. We're headed out to the field. Again, there's only 6 of us. We're just hitting fly balls or whatever, figuring out where we're going to play, get some people some swings. Chris walks up. He's going to go hit some fly balls. Nobody walks to the pitcher's mound.
I did. I walked over it, though. Walked right on past it.
I had to pitch. Literally, the only thing I didn't want to do this year, and I was thrust into it at literally the very first chance I could have been.
Yeah. You look good out there.
Hated it. I hated it. Not every second of it. There were grounders going by me I didn't even look at.
I got a good laugh when, after you had thrown a couple pitches, Rusty out in left field yelled, hey, you already pitched more than you did all last season.
Yeah. And he was incorrect. He said that after 1 pitch, the record notes...
Wasn't it 3?
I made 3 pitches. My ERA currently stands at infinity because I recorded 0 outs. And I guess I wasn't there, but I saw the final score. I know those batters scored.
Yeah.
So my ERA is not that good. So, yeah, I sit out there and I pitch, and I'm in the car and I go, I had to pitch. And Katie didn't see it. She goes, why? I was like, no, nobody walked there. To Chris's credit. Walking out there, and he goes, no, just stand off to the side. Like, you know, like you're feeding it. Mm-hmm. There's no way. That doesn't simulate anything, right? Yeah. I mean, you're not helping anybody. So that was a trip. I did not enjoy 1 second of that.
Well, let's talk about when, after Chris was done batting, then I think you took a couple cuts, and then you were out in the field, because you were at shortstop when I was batting.
Yeah.
And
get my hands dirty.
Getting your hands dirty. The old rancher hopped off the horse, decided to
get on a pony.
Muck the stables.
Yeah. He decided to shuck some corn.
I think you're think you're mixing it up.
Farming now.
Farmer.
Too much
So
farming.
he's a rancher and a farmer. Okay.
That's a lot to take on.
It's a lot to do.
It's a lot of
It's a
property.
busy
a lot of grass.
lifestyle.
He's going to need some hands, some farm hands.
Probably aren't a lot of
Some ranch hands.
rancher farmers.
Is it a tourist ranch? Like, does he have, like, hey, come take the kids for a ride on the pony? You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys got a story.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
all
it's
I'm saying.
yeah, definitely a story.
Yeah, so I jump out. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I go rake the stables.
So
Right?
I hit a couple of hard ground balls in your direction.
Yeah.
One of them you hobbled to the side. You made the play. Looked fantastic.
Boy, feel...
Well, there was if we're sticking with the rancher farm theme, it looked like there was a little hitch in your giddy up. Kind of
Yeah, I mean, I felt fine.
bobbled your way over.
It's news to me that I'm hobbling and bobbling now with a hitch in my giddy up. This is all news to me heading into the season. 51.5 weeks post-injury. Shouldn't be a hobble, bobble, hitch in my giddy up, but here we are.
No, I mean, you made it look good, though.
Oh, okay. Well, boy, I'm glad you threw that one on the end there. Yeah, no, sure.
Well, there was one play where I hit a really hard ground ball at you, and instead of reaching down to field it with your glove, you instead stuck your foot in front of it.
Stopped it.
Which, I don't know, doesn't seem like the intelligent thing to do, coming off an injury to your foot.
But in fairness, I nailed it with my foot.
You did.
Almost popped it right into my glove.
You did.
It didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be clear, but it could have.
Could have happened.
Yeah. So here we are. We endeavor into another season, Steve.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get as in depth on our games this year as we did last year. I think we'll do a brief rundown, maybe the box score.
Right.
Talk about our who's the MVP of the game.
Yeah.
Winning pitcher, stuff like that. I will be keeping my batting average again because our team slugger Joe has left the team, so I feel like I can lead the team this year. In
batting average.
Batting average, yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
See at the top.
Oh, you're gonna be right up there with me.
Listen, I took some BP today, first time in more than a year, and I felt good. I was ripping some balls to what I call home, Steve. Now, home for Kyle is that first cut of grass. Just enough to piss off the shortstop and third baseman because they can't get it.
Just over his head, okay.
Because at that point, I don't have to run down the first baseline. I can kind of trot while I watch the ball, see if it lands, coast into first, done.
Now, one thing I forgot to talk about. Talked about the obvious highlight of the practice was my my diving catch.
Full extension, like I said, is what they'll call it.
Extension catch.
Yeah. If you watch baseball tonight, stay tuned. Adam Jones plays for the Baltimore Orioles. You've got your Adam Joneses. You've got your Leonis Martin from the Detroit Tigers. You've got your Mike Trout from the Angels.
And you got your Steve McKiernan from Team Remax.
And you've got your Steve, the second baseman from Team Remax.
Getting my knees dirty out there in the field.
Yeah, you've got a shower now.
I would say that if there's a runner up to the play of the practice, it would be when this old guy decided, you know something, I'm pretty dominant from this one side of the plate. Yeah. I'm gonna hop over to the other side.
Yeah.
So normally a right-handed batter decided to hop over, took a couple cuts lefty, which sent the fielders into a frenzy. Yeah. Well, and they called the switch. They called the shift.
Yeah. So
everybody shifted over.
Not for Steve, but obviously for the lesser of the sport head blue bloods. Shift is where when one hitter can only hit to one side of the field, you will adjust an extra defender to that side of the field and leave a wide open gap on the other side, essentially telling the player, we know you can't hit it there. So we shifted you hard to right field when you went lefty.
Mm-hmm. Very hard to right field. Old Slugger had a little trick up his sleeve. Little magic. Little sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Ace up
the sleeve.
Yeah. Yeah. What did I do? I pulled that ball. Opposite field.
You poked it.
Bink.
Little blooper. Sunk Kyle's home.
Right into Kyle's home.
First cut of grass, third base side. You rounded first like Kirk Gibson. One arm in the air. hobbling, bobbling, hitching the giddy up.
Wait a minute. That is just that's an insult.
That was your full gait. That was the normal.
That is something that cannot be.
Before we move on, important to mention, we are referring to the play of the practice as a non-catch anywhere between 1 and 4 feet away.
I feel like over time the details are going to be slightly altered.
Yeah.
This wasn't a practice. This was the championship game.
Yeah.
And it was a catch.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it was the catch to seal.
Well, no, because I caught it. I did like the basket catch
over the shoulder,
but while diving at the same time.
Yeah, the Willie Mays, but removed from your feet.
Caught it, popped back up, and threw an absolute laser home plate
from the outfield. Sure,
from the outfield. Yeah, from the fence.
Yeah,
to because that was going to be the winning run. It was going to cross the plate because this was the 14th inning.
So we're playing 2 games. Oh wow, a lot of extra innings here.
Yeah, it was gonna, and of course, I mean, the laser's always on.
Yeah,
got him.
Yeah, you got the rocket. We determined today that you and I have the perfect second base to first base arm. You go from shortstop to third base, not so much.
All right,
not so much. So yeah, look forward to it. I think it's time we should get some official predictions on the board here pretty quickly.
I'm batting 800 this year.
Oh, boy.
Do you still have my predictions from the beginning of last season?
I could easily pull those up. I have all of the documents that I scribble on here. And so before last season, Steve, you hadn't played. I mean, you'd never played in a league, right? You'd never played solo pitch softball in a league.
No, the stallion was never harnessed.
Yeah, 'cause you can't do that. This guy, he'd only come out like once a year. It's like that elusive bull at the rodeo. Like, oh, you don't want to, can't tame that guy.
Nope.
So last year, you joined us for the inaugural return season. I guess it was the first time we returned.
Yeah,
and
why not?
Let me pull up one because I kept it all season, so I've got all these documents, Steve. There we go. May the 1st, 2017. They've got to be in here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, you had a home run with the Highlander theme playing. You guaranteed that.
Wait. That's right. I remember predicting that I would hit a home run, and it was then your responsibility to play the Highlander theme
on a boombox.
as I rounded the bases.
Yep.
Which you don't even do in this league.
You also said you would I don't know if it was the first game, but that you would go 5 for 5, hit for the cycle with a spare double.
Yes.
Just there, for giggles.
Yeah, just because I can.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, neither of those came to fruition. But what did come to fruition was our bet. I bet that we would go No. I think I won that first bet.
No, I won the bet.
So we went like 5 and we must have gone like 6 and 6.
Oh man, I feel like we won one game. I don't remember.
We won one game. You owe me money because I bet that we were going to go 4 and 8 last year. You said we were going to go 7 and 5. And I know for a fact we didn't go 4 and 8. No, I think we were in the middle. I think we went 6 and 6.
Boy, couldn't tell you.
Or 5 and 6, whatever. So this year, you've seen the roster turnover. We have 2 hours of practice under our belt. Mm-hmm. But we have the league where we went 4 and 2 in last year.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
We got a full schedule. How many games were we playing? Like 10, 12?
I think it's 12.
Should probably look that up before I make a prediction.
Yeah, I sent a picture of the schedule. I think it's on
I had actually looked it up.
Right?
I had looked it up too, and I put them all in the... Hold on, I'll just pull up my calendar. I will count all of the days that we are playing. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
No bye week. Or no, we do have a bye
9,
week.
10.
No
10
double
games.
headers.
10 games.
Okay. What do you got? Team Remax, Division 3.
Yeah.
half the roster turned over. We lost the wounded giraffe, my brother Robert.
Yeah.
We've
referred to him as slowest human on Earth.
I'm looking to make a run at that this year.
Well, I mean, you're hobbling and bobbling.
Hobbling and bobbling with a hitch in my giddy-up. You're right, Steve. And
I think that's a billboard, by the way.
Yeah, hobbling and bobbling with a hitch in your giddy-up.
We'll need the acronym.
Yeah, Carl, get on that as well. Thank you in advance. Again, every time we mention a billboard, just means our budget goes up and up and up. So those crowdfunding things that we don't do are very necessary. About 50% roster turnover. We lost my brother. We are losing, I don't think there's any shame in saying, the most talented player on the team in Joe.
Mm-hmm.
He is gone.
Yep.
We are adding nobody as good as him.
No. I don't know. Two guys that we had there today.
Pretty good.
Seemed like they could play.
Yeah, my coworker Ryan, Big Beard. I think the other guy is what we're going to call him. I have no idea what else to call him.
Big Beard.
Hey, Big Beard. Like Big Bird, just call him a Sesame Street character. He looked very good. I need to talk to him, though. He throws it a little too hard to first hurt my hand. So that needs to be addressed.
So you're already complaining.
It's a little hard. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's I don't have a pad in that glove. It's just the leather glove that I've had since I was a kid. So it's a little lighter. It's going to get there.
By the way, I'm getting text updates as we speak
on ice cream
from Annette. She got 4 kinds.
Yes.
Quote, I'm ready for Kyle to go down.
Oh, God. Here we go.
She then said, and guess which was the most expensive? Halo Top. By more than $1.
Oh, because one was probably on sale. Halo Top doesn't need that nonsense. Sales.
You're offended on their behalf.
Sales. Who needs them? I had a text conversation this week. Let me scroll up and find it. My lovely wife, who was involved in this whole disaster, and his team, Ben and Jerry, sent me an Amazon link, Steve. I don't know if you've seen this. Ben & Jerry's Euphoria Lock Ice Cream Pint Combination Lock Protector. And it is a lid that locks your Ben & Jerry's pint. Okay?
Yeah, find one of them for Halo Top.
And I said,
Can't.
My
Garbage.
God. She said, ha ha ha, right. Quote, you buy crappy ice cream when you don't have to put a lock on it. And I said, it would be like buying a lock for our garbage can. She said, B&J isn't trash, and that was the end of that discussion.
Oh.
Let's just get it over with quick. The polls that, or no, that's this week now.
That
Sorry,
poll just went up. Big thanks to all of the people that commented or voted in the recent poll on both Twitter and Facebook. Let's see.
I think we need to do that every week. We need to have a poll every week.
I'm trying to find it. Where? Oh, I'm not looking at our.
You need the results because
I do. Yeah, if you could. So our poll was, it was which is better, Snickers, or the not real Lucky Billy bar.
Now the Lucky Billy, in case you've forgotten somehow, is that new upstart candy bar.
It's the new kid on the block.
Taking shelf space any day now from your regular run-of-the-mill candy bars. Is a chocolate-based candy bar, Steve. With just a touch of pretzel.
And absolutely never any nuts.
And absolutely, under no circumstances will there be any nuts. And in the upset of the year,
boy, I don't know about that.
People go with the old reliable.
Yeah.
By a margin. A nail biter this week on the Steve and Kyle podcast poll. 71% to 29%, with I think it was just over 100 votes, Steve. The Snickers bar wins.
First of all, we need to thank listener Zach.
Oh my God, the man is an absolute genius.
He could not have. When we talked about the Lucky Billy bar last week, which obviously is something that doesn't exist, but we want to make it exist.
Yes.
So we needed to visualize it, and in my mind, I saw a candy bar wrapper with a guy with both palms faced up, like, huh? Mm-hmm. Like he was going, huh? That's Billy. That's Lucky Billy. And Zach described, it was like Zach crawled into my mind and said, oh, there's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And just threw it down on paper.
Beautiful. And if you haven't seen those are on our social media.
Who else? Somebody else. Also.
Carl,
okay,
who helps
course.
us out with our billboard campaigns with the world's longest acronyms. Carl also sent a beautiful two Lucky Billies.
Yeah.
One for a Lucky Billy that will never see the light of day because it has nuts. So he updated that, sent the second label over with the starburst on it. It said absolutely no nuts.
It was like absolutely never any nuts.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So our many thanks. Yeah, that is a tremendous outpouring. Stay tuned. There is going to be some form or fashion where that is going to be on some merch.
Yeah, I think that has to be done. I think we'll have to get permission first from Zach.
He gave it.
Oh, he did?
He said he wants 0 residuals. Do you want to know what he said to do with it instead?
What?
Build APS 4.0.
Okay. Well, we'll have to sell a lot.
So Zach's getting residuals because Steve has made it clear.
Hey, if everybody's on board with that, I would be willing to do that. If we said, okay, T-shirts, every single dollar over what we, over the expenses to get them, send them out, everything goes into APS 4.0, I'm in.
Yeah, I could do.
Although,
well, I mean, I think we should set a number.
Although looking back, we sold what 50 or 60 shirts, and we made enough to buy 1.5 shock mounts. I think we had $40 left over.
There's a flaw in our business plan somewhere, and I haven't nailed it down. It's either that, or one or both of us were skimming. And
it could have been that too.
We were each embezzling like $2 a shirt, and filtering it to an offshore account in the Grand Caymans. But yeah, that will be on some form of merch here shortly because that is too beautiful to pass up.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So
it's a beautiful looking logo. If you haven't seen it, at Stephen Kyle on Twitter or Facebook.com/Stephen Kyle.
Yeah, we are efforting. And the only reason I even mention this is because I feel like there's been, in the last 2 weeks, there's been a massive influx. I want to say 5 to 10 people I have seen message us or tweeted us about wanting either a Throat Goblin tournament t-shirt or a reissue of the one-time only limited edition Stephen Kyle World Tour shirt, which you can see in photographs all around the world. And I think it would be nice if we could figure out if you and I can figure out a way to get this uploaded, which I have no idea what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair to do that. Now, again...
Well, I think that my first idea is we take the Steve 16 bracket, put it on a shirt, Stephen Kyle Podcast logo on the front, the
bracket on the back.
The bracket on the back, brought to you by our sponsor, Lucky Billy, with the bar on the bottom of it.
Absolutely. That needs to be done.
Yeah.
So, we're figuring that out because I think what's key for you and I... We don't want to do any of the work.
Yeah, I'm not really down with that.
But we can, I mean, not like uploading and making a design. That's fine. We can handle that. The actual getting them printed and actually shipping them and actually begging people for money that don't want to give money.
Yeah, that
won't happen again.
That wasn't great. Maybe we can set up like a website where it's just as the orders come in, we send them out.
Yeah.
Now, there was, again, thank you for all the people that voted in the poll last week. Actually, just before we started recording, published a new one to both Facebook and to Twitter. It's about the great Ben & Jerry's and Halo Top debate.
I would argue this is the defining show poll, Steve. To see how this is going to go. I think it's going to go wild. After seeing the way people treated my invention, the Lucky Billy, I think this is going to skew wildly Ben & Jerry's.
Well, if the first hour and 20 minutes are any indication...
Oh, no.
Would you like to know some... You want to know some of the early results?
I mean, it's so early that I'm sure it's the way it goes, like a coin flip. It's 50-50.
On Twitter with 35 votes in so far.
Oh, so not many.
No. Ben & Jerry's just edging out Halo Top.
See, I told you.
With 97% of the vote.
Oh, my God.
But that's all right. Jump over to Facebook. Just 86% of the vote going to Ben & Jerry's.
What is the deal? Because do we skew old on this podcast? Is there the old guard of people? You can't accept a Lucky Billy in your life?
Let's see. We have Leanne says, Team Steve all day. Spencer, Halo Top is trash. You did get someone to come to your side saying you have to let Halo Top sit out for a few minutes before eating it. Plus, it is better for you.
Yeah, that's
Still,
true.
Not the concern. This is not a what's better for you contest because Halo Top wins. It's the lowest calories. This is what tastes better. So that person did not answer the question that was asked.
Don't worry, I've got another defender in the same comment thread, Steve. One Lisa. Team Kyle. I used to be a big fan of Ben & Jerry's, but bought chocolate chip cookie dough recently. Didn't live up to my memories. Just meh. Thank goodness for Halo Top. Lisa, you're speaking for a silent majority here. When you say, thank goodness for Halo Top, you are on the right track.
Followed up by Cody's comment, Halo Top, more like garbage top.
Not original. It's a terrible comment.
It's beautiful. It's a perfect comment.
Again.
So thank you. You can vote on these if you're downloading this podcast on Tuesday the 24th. You got about 3 or 4 more days to vote on it. Early results, though, not looking good for Halo Top.
Okay. I'm about to go down 2 polls to none. This is something we need to do every week because this is a great idea.
There has to be a debate every week in poll form on our
Yeah. And one day I'm going to win one. Yeah.
Okay.
So no transition for this. So back to softball.
No.
What do you have us for our 10-game prediction, Steve? Let's get these out of the way quickly so we can move on.
6-4. What about you?
Oh boy, that's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm gonna go one side or the other of you. I just can't decide if I want to be super confident guy.
Yep.
I don't. 5-5.
5-5. Okay, so what are the stakes?
So essentially,
here?
I guess
30
$20
bucks
last year.
I thought it was 30.
No, we did. I don't know what we ended up agreeing on.
Should
we do something podcast related for the stakes?
How about $30, but the money goes into APS 4.0? I'll buy you a sheet and a half of drywall.
I mean, you only need what? 2?
Yeah.
2 sheets?
Yeah, 2 sheets will get that whole room done, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's small enough.
Yeah.
I would take one out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's move
true.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take that wall down.
Pop some nails out. Slide them in.
Yeah, just put a little putty on there.
Okay, so those are the stakes. Year 2, Team Remax kicks off this Wednesday. Stay tuned next week for pitch-by-pitch recap of Game 1.
I kind of feel like I want to skip the Fast 5 this week.
Okay. Is there a reason other than
not having 5?
You don't have 5? Is that what it is?
No, I have 3.
I mean, some of us did our job. Do you need me, like I have been known to do successfully, Steve, to maybe monologue for a few minutes?
God, no.
While you look
I mean, yeah.
While you were would I hypothetically look for some news stories. I could do my Fast 5 if you'd like. If that's
I'm up to 4 already. Hold on.
Oh, okay. So this thing's gonna. No. You didn't want me to monologue, Steve. So here we go.
Okay. So, how about the?
It should be addressed.
How about you
before
go first?
We get to the Fast 5, by the way, that your show last night, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you.
Heck of a venue.
Thank you.
Massive crowd.
Great show.
By all accounts of people who were there. Job well done.
Thank you.
Successful. Funny. Very funny. I'm, of course, talking about your side gig. You do these. How many markets do you do these now in the night shows? 4, 5?
4 or 5, yeah.
So it's a pretty limited affair. So for this limited affair, you mentioned it earlier, you had some people come in, flew in, drove in, an insane showing.
Yeah.
You had somebody flying from Texas. You had somebody Nikki drove in
from
Maine and New
Portland,
Hampshire.
Maine, yeah.
A crazy outpouring. Decision made late for me. Very, very late for me. I think I was texting you Friday that I decided, I think Katie and I will go. There's some stuff going on. We had a bunch of stuff that we had to do Saturday. I figured, you know what? If we need to go, it would be a bad form. If we didn't, it's kind of disrespectful. So we showed up.
Never feel obligated, by the way. You do not have to feel obligated.
That's not an obligation. Like, it's something that shouldn't be an obligation. It's not. It's a fun show with
fun time.
Free provided tickets that people they did pay good money for to sit where we were sitting. The decision was made late for me, which is part of the reason I did not really get to talk to anybody who made that trip. Now, I saw Nikki, I apologize if you actually said hi to me. I apologize. I was not trying to ignore you. I want to say Nikki, listener Leanne, listener Marcy. They were walking out while I was actually run into by another listener, Steve. I never got the gentleman's name. Maybe you remember the gentleman who brought me beer.
Oh, yeah, the Yingling.
From Illinois?
Yes.
And dropped it off at your office for me.
Yeah.
And he saw me in the hallway and was first of all, I am so sorry for not getting your name. Way too gracious and generous to me and to this podcast.
It's very nice.
It was very nice. Very, very flattering. Thank you very much. That was countered by a video text I received from you before I got into the building. While we were walking to the venue.
Yeah, I was backstage at the VIP little meet and greet thing before the show started.
I feel like our ticket didn't say that on it.
No, it didn't. Maybe if you had expressed any interest at all.
I was there.
I was backstage. I was talking to Nikki and Marcy and Leanne and a bunch of other people, and everybody wanted to know, where's Kyle?
Yeah.
That was one of the top trending questions at the Live at Night show last night. # where's Kyle?
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
A lot of people asked for you, so I pulled out my phone to simply record a very nice message and send it to you.
Was that the intention?
Yeah.
Should I play it?
Yeah.
Just through the mic?
Here, I could pull it up right here.
Oh, you have it? Okay. Yeah. It would probably sound a little better through there as well.
Yeah. Probably have to do some editing to this.
I wonder. Why?
Get that in post.
Why would you have to edit it? Just the sound quality, you think?
Yeah, something like that.
There's some beeps and blurps and noises you want to cut out. Is that what it is?
Let's just listen to it.
Hey Kyle, here at the night show. All of your fans are here. They all want to see you. All right.
Introduce Kyle. Where are you, man?
Name and where you're from.
Leslie, Decatur, just to see you, and you're not here. Appreciate that.
Very nice. Thank you, Leslie.
This is Tim. I'm from Flint. You're not here.
You know who I am. How many hours did you drive?
Good water.
I drove like 400 hours. 400 hours. Hi, Kyle. It's Lee. Why are you not here?
She named her child after us, man.
Yeah, she did.
You should be here. I hate you, Kyle.
Oh, there it is. That was a very strong I hate you, Kyle. Well, I really didn't no gray area there.
No, not a it could have just maybe she'd be, I don't want to be on that video. Instead actively partook. A couple of reasons. One, I would not have been at the VIP event anyway. I was hanging out with your lovely bride, my bride, and a couple of couples that we were with.
Yep.
Making the rounds because we're not invited to the VIP affair. So
I'm kind of on the show.
I get it. I mean, they're not, but it's they were there. I mean, I'm pretty much a member of the show. So,
oh yeah.
I mean,
well, you're an alum.
I mean, if I'm there,
yeah,
I don't need those guys having an ego check.
Yeah.
With me there based on the crowd, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're you and me signing merch. We're signing shirts. We've no doubt got. I saw you sign someone's chest. I'm not going to say if it was a woman or a man.
Well, I do. I had sent you a text maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Saying, there's going to be a podcast reference somewhere in the show.
I was so giddy.
Did you have any idea what it was going to be?
None.
You had no clue.
No, I didn't have any inkling what it could be. You said during the intro to the show.
So when the intro started, did you know, oh, this is where it's going?
No. I thought maybe you gave a name to one of the other guys, and selfishly, I thought maybe you were going to name one of the other guys Billy Backdraft.
No, I would never. That is. I mean, I can't steal your name.
I would have been flattered. I think it would have been great. So
it would have been a very nice hat tip.
Yeah. So this intro's starting, and I'm sitting next to Cy Nolan, Ryan Young, and I say, "Hey, Steve says he was going to try to slip in a podcast reference in this intro, and I don't know if he didn't hear me or he actually doesn't listen to the podcast because when the grand entrance of none other than Steve E. Tortellini on screen in the flesh finally occurred, I may have been the only one in that theater
that got it.
Like jumping up and down out of my chair. I was so excited. Katie could see it. She was laughing along with it. It was amazing. Absolutely perfect. This intro video that you made has to have been, idea-wise for you, the easiest because you had to think up some crazy gimmick.
Right.
We had already done it here on the podcast. So Steve E. Tortellini made his In the Flesh appearance. And I don't know if you have another night show on the schedule.
Yeah, we have a couple.
Okay, go to this if you're a podcast listener. Hopefully it's still the same. Steve in costume as his wrestling alter ego. Now we can't.
Yeah, I have part of my costume right here.
Yeah. That is the. You bought that from the Stereotype store.
Yeah, I did.
Right down the road.
I went to the Stereotype store and I got myself a chef's hat, but with the Italian flag.
Yeah, the Italian flag colors painted on your head.
Yeah.
So we're not going to play it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody going to these night shows. So
that's the thing. But we use these intros. We'll use this one for basically the next year of night shows. So another 4 or 5. We have one in like Green Bay. There's going to be one, I'm assuming, next year in Nashville early in the year. But yeah, I just when we settled on the idea that we were going to do, and we just settled on that like on Monday of this past week. And I was like, well, I got my character. No problem.
Done deal.
Went on to Amazon, typed in chef's hat, ordered it.
Good luck to all you other suckers who had to figure everything out.
Yeah.
We'd already
Steve E. Tortellini was born. I mean, he was already born, but he was brought to life.
We'd already fleshed out your character.
Yeah. He's the stereotype of an Italian American.
It was amazing. And you even... a bit of a spoiler alert, but you brought the catchphrase.
I did. I had to bring the catchphrase. That was the only way that I knew how to end it. Every good wrestling promo, the catchphrase, like Hulk Hogan, he always worked in the 24-inch pythons.
Yeah, and so the big punch out for Steve, it was included. And again, I don't want to ruin it. The time will come where we'll be able to play that audio here, heavily edited. Because that is live.
Steve E. Tortellini has quite a potty mouth.
Yes. Steve E. Tortellini is not on televised wrestling.
No, I think Steve E. Tortellini may have dropped 6 F-bombs in a 45-second wrestling promo.
A lot going on there. But yeah, no, that was tremendous to see. I was the most excited person in that performance hall.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure. An absolute joy to be able to see in person.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to bring Steve E. Tortellini to life.
Yeah.
Again, that's Steve E. Tortellini.
Yeah, and you don't call him Stevie Tortellini.
Oh, no.
That is the biggest violation and what will get you a championship match with Steve E. Tortellini.
So that was a fun time.
Yeah, the show was great. Thank you very much for the invite, the tickets, and my apologies to everybody. Again, the decision was made late that I would go. I knew I wouldn't be going to the after party, so that's why I was not there. I legitimately did not know the show began at 8 p.m.
What time did you think?
7. So we left the house at about 3 o'clock.
I did notice that you tweeted from the Stephen Kyle Twitter, saying, "Oh, okay. Well, there was They're already 1 minute late. No wonder they can't crack Steve's neighborhood leadership rankings. And then before that, oh no, you had sent me was it a tweet or a text?
A text, yeah, a very aggressive text message that I sent you. Let me find that quick. It's not too far back. Again, this was news to me that it was an 8 p.m. start. I just assumed it was a 7 because that's when sporting events start. So why wouldn't this? I don't know why. That doesn't make a ton of sense.
No.
I said, I just found out this thing starts at 8 p. I cannot tell you how upset I am. What is this, a rock concert? Let's get the show on the road. Followed that up. Okay, Mr. Big Shot, 8:04 p.m. You were late. With a picture of my middle finger.
Yep.
So you're welcome. My apologies to everybody. I would have absolutely loved to see you, but leaving the house early to go eat, and then not knowing the show started at 8, when we left, our dogs had yet to eat dinner. They had to be let out. It was extenuating circumstances that I feel horrible about, and I do apologize.
It's quite all right. We will we'll plan something bigger and better.
We do need to do something local.
We need to do, I think that next year for our night show here in Grand Rapids, we need to have a merch table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big haul.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to man it. We're going to hire some schlubs to do that.
Yeah, definitely. No, we'll just make somebody from the radio station.
Yeah.
Like,
you guys got lackeys that have to
tell them
do all
to
that.
staff the table.
Yeah, the same loser who has to go around putting the stupid flags around every building within a 3-block radius to show that your radio station owns this.
Hey, we're number one.
Yeah,
Look
cool,
at us.
Great.
We have the most banner wrap in town.
One less of those people will be doing that because they're going to be hawking Lucky Billy merch. And hopefully by this time
next year, you think we can get a prototype of the Lucky Billy bar?
Do we contact the Mars company? Nestle?
Hey, look, Mars company, we got this idea for the Lucky Billy bar.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. It's a chocolate-based candy bar with just a touch of pretzel.
And?
Absolutely never any nuts.
We got to figure out a way to make that. What a dream that would be. A Lucky Billy bar in person with that freaking logo from Zach on it. That'd be on the mantle.
Yeah.
We've currently our mantle.
I'm going to make a Lucky Billy bar. I'm going to look up right now. I'm going to do it in Google incognito mode, so it's not the only thing that I ever see now when I do any other search. I'm going to search for candy bar mold.
So, to recap, we are looking to add to our mantle.
I'll have a Lucky Billy bar prototype by next week.
We are looking to add to our mantle, which currently is a shattered portrait of the 3 gentlemen from Orange County Choppers, signed by Paul Sr. A poster from Rocky IV.
Mm-hmm.
A Cliff bobblehead from the television program Cheers.
Yeah.
And sands from the beach of Iwo Jima. If there's ever been a case of one of these things is not like the other, it's that amazing gift. I want to say that was from S. Robbie Mack, the sands from Iwo Jima. Maybe not.
No, that was the
military member from North Carolina. And again, we are now looking to add to that a candy bar made by us. Again, the Lucky Billy. If you have an in, Steve said he found a mold, but I'm looking for a fully. I need a wrapper. We need to figure out how to do this. Let's do it right. If we're going to sell Lucky Billy bars, we're going to do it properly, okay?
I feel like, by the way, the sands from the beaches of Iwo Jima was from John. But yeah, I think that in order to sell food, you have to have, I'm sure there's a lot of licenses that are involved.
Then we won't sell. We will... thank them for a donation.
No. We'll just sell our garbage merch.
Mm-hmm.
Every sale gets a free Lucky Billy bar.
Absolutely, that's how they do it. I didn't know this until recently. Did you know that's how they do plasma? We were talking about that Saturday.
Really?
Yeah. That technically you can't sell body parts.
Oh yeah, I have heard that.
So that's their workaround. Is like it's a donation or whatever for your time.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly. It's a tax write-off, basically.
So that's what we'll do. You buy a stupid button with whatever, our logo on it or whatever, and as a add-on, there's a free Lucky Billy bar in every package.
Oh, boy.
That's if it ever happens.
Oh, look at this. I can get that mold at Bed Bath & Beyond.
What do you got to get, like, special chocolate for that? Just going to melt down somebody else's chocolate.
I'm just going to take a Snickers.
Yeah, take a Snickers, melt it down.
Scrape out the peanuts.
Get the frickin' nuts out of there.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
that's beautiful. The Lucky Billy Bar lives. This is the greatest thing we have ever done.
If we start producing actual food,
we're going to have to stop the podcast. Our side hustles are going to be too much. Too much non-profitability.
Yeah. Hey, can you record this week? No, I have to produce 2,000 candy bars that somebody ordered.
Yeah. No, I'm at the chocolate shop seeing if I can buy a brick of chocolate for these stupid Lucky Billies.
So we have to figure out exactly how much is just a touch of pretzel too.
That sounds like a taste test thing for Steve and Kyle, and that sounds like. In addition, stay tuned because the taste test of ice cream will be coming soon to this podcast. So
either that or we could do it like we could shoot it as a video and then.
That's absolutely what we're doing. Yeah, we're definitely doing a video. We'll release the video as an episode as well as probably a normal episode as well. But the blind ice cream taste test, the Lucky Billy, the throat goblin national
I feel like
championship.
We got a lot of momentum going into summer.
Still no downloads.
That's all right though. The more bad ideas we come up with, the easier it'll be to focus in on the good ones.
Oh my God, I don't know what. Before we get to the Fast Five or Furious 4, very quickly, I've mentioned it before. I keep just general timestamps to pull some audio for the intro next week. Normally, I'll have 2 to 4.
Yeah.
That's usually the most. This week, 9. Wow. And I don't know what we've talked about. So this is going to be an adventure.
All right.
I'm very excited.
Looking forward to it.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. I'll go first on the Fast Five. Roseanne.
I love it.
Highest rated show of the season.
It is. I don't know if you've watched it. We'll come back to it. Tremendous. I love it.
Okay. Next, Starbucks.
Boy, bad PR.
Got a little discrimination thing going.
Yeah, I don't. It's a bummer for Starbucks because it was just a manager. But yeah, I mean that's the company that has to answer for it. It is what it is. It's a bad PR look for what might be the whitest of
seriously
chains of anything.
Okay, Mike Pompeo, CIA director.
Boy, I got nothing.
Oh, you'll know exactly what it is. Next, Southwest Airlines.
That's why you don't fly. That's why.
I
sucked out a window.
I can't argue with that. That's a terrible thing.
Can you imagine the horror going 600 miles an hour? We'll come back.
Vern Troyer is final on the Fast Five.
Yeah, that's sad. I didn't see a cause of death or anything. 49.
Seems like it might be suicide.
Oh, wow. I had no idea about
the official post on his Instagram, Vern Troyer, dead at 49.
Me.
Yeah, Mini-Me from Austin Powers.
Yeah.
I think he was in... whatever. I saw the very lengthy post on his Instagram that announced that he had passed away. Said he had struggled with... I guess he had struggled with some various addictions. But then there was a line in there. It said, like, if somebody that you know is suffering from depression or suicidal thoughts. But it was... It didn't.
No kidding.
It didn't actually indicate.
Well, that is very sad.
But apparently, he had been struggling for a while with various things. So unfortunately, Vern Troyer dead at 49. That's sad.
Yeah, and I guess
by all accounts, just an incredible person. Like a super positive guy, and used his stardom to help out a lot of people, and
yeah, I don't. That's surprising to me. I guess I just assumed there was complications from dwarfism or whatever, because I know that causes medical issues all the time. Which
it may be. It may have just been a strangely worded post, but it of course everyone's like, well, why would you mention suicide in there if it wasn't suicide? So who knows? We'll probably find out in the coming days. Before that, we had Southwest Airlines.
Yeah, woman got nearly sucked out a window of an airplane, Steve.
Yeah, it was a flight from LaGuardia to, I want to say Dallas, but I'm not positive.
Now what she's being referred to now the woman passed away, right?
Yeah, They had taken off at LaGuardia. The plane was somewhere over Pennsylvania, and one of the engines blew up.
Fell off or something.
It blew up.
Yeah.
And a piece of the engine flew through the side of the plane and struck a woman. She died from blunt force trauma. Basically, the entire window was blown out. There was a big hole in the side of the plane, and she was sucked out of the plane. At this point, I think that from what I read, that they determined she was probably killed instantly from the impact of the piece of the engine. But yeah, sucked out of the plane, and then people had to struggle to pull her back in. I mean, even though she
was
dead.
This nurse supposedly performed CPR on her until they got on the ground in Philadelphia. That's the nightmare.
That is absolutely the nightmare.
No, thank you. I fly once, very rarely twice a year, maybe. I don't know how you do it, how often you do. It's not... Oh.
Yeah, that story, that is one of those ones that just... Oh, it's chilling.
Yeah.
It's one thing if a plane makes an emergency landing or something, or a tire blows out as they're landing and it gets kind of squirrely, or there's turbulence or whatever. But this is the nightmare, like you said. Absolutely terrible.
Getting sucked out of wind. Oh, I wonder what that does to your body. You're going 600 miles an hour. If half of your body is outside the window,
Sure. Yeah. I have no idea. Okay, haunting. Before that, I had CIA Director Mike Pompeo.
Okay. Yeah, definitely out of the loop on what the newsworthiness with him is.
He apparently met with Kim Jong-un.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Kim Jong-un now has announced that he's stopping the nuclear site program.
Yeah.
And no testing, and needs to improve his economy. I don't know what happened. That's night and day from, I don't know, every other day of his regime.
So... what's going on there?
Very
apparently,
weird.
Apparently, there are plans that Trump is going to meet with him.
Yeah, supposedly May they're going to be having a summit, right? And I would be stunned if there wasn't some promise of economic aid involved in this deal to have them stop nuclear testing. Either way, kudos.
Yeah,
if they actually stop, this is an incredible turnaround, and whatever happened, job well done by whoever did it. This is amazing.
If it gets them to disarm, cool. But everybody's just kind of like, wait, what?
Right.
Is this like waiting for the other shoe to drop?
It's always a good thing when, if you get a country like that to say that they're done, especially when it's not like UN mandated, where they're being threatened essentially. So we'll see how this
let the ends
unfolds.
justify the means, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see how it unfolds. But this is it's good news all around.
And before that, we had Starbucks.
Yeah, it's a bad look. So I'm assuming the local manager, there were two African American gentlemen in the Starbucks waiting for a friend, I think is what it was.
Yeah,
and a customer complained. The manager
Where
called.
Was it? It was in Philadelphia, right?
Was it? I never saw.
I thought so.
Manager complained, or customer complained to the manager, called the police, and took them out in handcuffs. They weren't charged with anything. Obviously, they were literally sitting there waiting. But yeah, a really bad PR for Starbucks. And again, like I mentioned, it's not on Starbucks. It's the manager who called the police officers.
Yeah.
But
are they all independently owned and operated?
I don't think they're all independently owned, but I'm sure there's a large amount. But your name's on it. You're going to be the one who has to answer the bell there.
But yeah, they had one day last week they shut down all of their stores.
Oh no, that's coming next month.
Oh, it's next. Okay.
Yeah, so they announced that they're shuttering their doors for a few hours, all of their locations for, I don't know if it's technically sensitivity training or what it is,
sure.
But it was a bad look. The video made it worse. They hauled these poor guys out in cuffs for sitting in a Starbucks.
Yeah,
awful.
I guess the worst that you could in that situation. I think that if it truly is just them walking in, sitting down, what's the worst that you can get them for?
Right,
loitering.
Isn't it weird?
Like, hey, are you guys going to buy anything? No.
Then you have to go.
Then you got to go. But yeah, to arrest somebody, that's crazy. Okay, and first on my list was the revival of the great show Roseanne.
Awesome. I'm surprised you haven't watched it.
So you've been watching it.
Yeah, it's tremendous. I love it.
I haven't watched it. I was a huge fan of Roseanne.
Yeah,
and I even said I can't wait to watch it when it comes back. What are they? Probably 5 episodes in.
You need to watch it. I think there's only 12 or something this year.
Okay.
They're half hours, so
They've
they're
already
21 minutes.
Already been renewed for
season
a
2.
second season.
Tremendous. Same laughs, same everything.
Good.
As long as you don't want to ruin everything by politicizing it when you don't need to, because it's a sitcom television show. Mm-hmm. I think, if you enjoyed the original, you will enjoy this version of the show as well. It's so funny.
I need to watch that. Now things have been a little hectic the last couple weeks, but I got some downtime coming up, so I'm looking forward to. I will definitely catch up on
It's on demand.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Avengers Infinity War.
Oh boy, it's the biggest of the wars.
Yeah, it's not the Civil War, it's the Infinity War.
Right.
Vern Troyer.
Ah, very sad. Mm-hmm. So sad.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Avicii.
That was kind of a surprise.
Very surprising.
I guess not really. I don't.
Anytime you're 28, though.
Yeah, I don't follow. Anytime you see that somebody died at 28,
it's always kind of shocking.
Yeah, but I didn't follow him at all. I knew who he was, but it was surprising to see that.
Weird. Mm-hmm. Barbara Bush.
Sad.
That was quick.
I got caught up reading about her the other night, 4 or 5 nights ago when she died. I think she died on Tuesday night last week. Saw that, and I just started reading about her and clicking other links, and it was like an hour and a half. I was just reading about her. And just seems like an incredible person.
Yeah, and regardless of politics, it doesn't matter where you lean on that. The man she married, the sons and the children she had, look at what they turned into. I mean, there's something to be said about her as a person that was able to happen. So
only 2 women who was a first lady and the mother of a president.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And lastly, Lance Armstrong.
Oh, what's up with him?
Oh, he was ordered to pay a $5 million settlement to the United States government.
Okay.
Because he was sponsored by the Postal Service.
Huh. Postal Service, huh?
Well, they want their money back. I don't blame them. What's wrong with asking?
I think I'm Team Lance.
Misconstrued?
Yeah, like Lee Harvey Oswald.
Sure.
I think that Lance just had one rough race. Just needed a little extra blood, a little extra pep in his step.
A little extra blood.
Yeah,
Okay. You're Team Lance?
Team Lance.
I appreciate that.
And you're I'm assuming steadfast Team USPS.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm a guy, I sympathize with him now. Sure, he doped, he lied about it, and that is what he did was bad. The lie was worse. He ruined lives by lying about it.
It's Pete Rose.
Yeah.
If he had just come clean about it at the beginning, at this point, people probably would have moved on.
Oh yeah, Pete Rose.
Look, you're always going to be there are always going to be people that are going to hate Lance Armstrong or going to hate Pete Rose because of that. But for the most part, I think that it would have swayed the public opinion in his favor a little bit more.
Yeah, and a guy like Lance Armstrong, who created or founded and was president or whatever of Livestrong, the Cancer Research Foundation, he survived cancer. So
which he now has nothing to do.
Yeah, he got booted out of everything, and that's the only reason I sympathize with him a little bit, because yes, he cheated, and yes, he covered it up, and yes, he definitely did damage on the way down during when he was finally found out. But, man, he has nothing now, and that's why the United States government's not going to see a penny of this. This is like the Goldman family with O.J.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any money. He's been sued by everybody.
He doesn't have $5 million?
Right? No, he was sued.
No, I'm serious.
Really?
He's
No, he got kicked because he got kicked out of Livestrong. He was sued by Floyd Landis, was one of the people, his former teammates, who admitted to blood doping, and he slandered and lied about and took him down in the press, sued by him, paid out. Lance Armstrong's broke by all accounts and definitely will not be able to pay the government $5 million.
I just thought for sure that he would have had $1 billion stucked away somewhere.
Maybe he does, like, in assets, because I'm sure there's rules like, hey, we can't take this from you or that from you.
Yeah, like if it was a like OJ, they can't touch his pension.
Yeah.
Now I would assume that Lance doesn't have a pension from biking.
Yeah, that's a good point. How much? Yeah, 2 days ago, Lance Armstrong net worth. How much is he worth? Because for the better part of 10 years, he was the man for bike racing. Which, where is it now? Does anybody even know a single thing about it?
Couldn't tell you.
He was the only reason there was attention given about it. The cyclist has agreed on a $5 million settlement. He will pay $1.65 million for Floyd Landis' legal costs, and will also personally receive Floyd Landis $1.1 million. Mm-hmm. He is worth, maybe I'm wrong, he's worth an estimated $50 million.
Yeah, I was going to say, he made so much money.
But I thought all of that had to be paid back, or I thought he had to pay a bunch of that back. Maybe, you know what?
Well,
You're probably
the money
right.
that he made from, I would assume, strictly the money that he made from the USPS.
Yeah.
He would have to pay that back. But if he was sponsored by, Gatorade or something, he wouldn't have to pay that back. I guess maybe they would maybe he would if they sued him too. Who knows?
I believe he was worth, as before this all went down, he was worth $125 million. He has lost more than 60% of his net worth.
Dwindling fast.
Barbara Bush, former First Lady, former First Mother.
Is that?
That can't be a thing.
No, I don't think
so.
so.
The first daughter, though. First daughter, first son.
Yeah, but the first is reserved for somebody on the same generation.
First uncle?
I don't think Barbara Bush was a first uncle.
What?
Fairly confident.
Well, if it's the same generation, would it be like first cousin? Would you have to pick?
10 speeds. Nuts.
Words. Cousins. Yeah, Barbara Bush passed away. By all accounts, a tremendous woman. Again, regardless of whatever political feelings you have towards the Bush family, Barbara Bush seems to have been a literal saint.
Yeah. So. Yeah, she definitely... interesting life.
Yeah,
read up on her. She's a very interesting read.
It seems like a lot of first ladies have that, but they're so underpublicized, right? I mean, you look at what Nancy Reagan did.
Yep.
Betty Ford. I mean, for crying out loud, the Betty Ford Clinic. So there's a lot to that is not talked about enough.
Yeah.
Before that, the DJ Avicii, Swedish DJ Avicii.
Dead at 28.
28, and I think I just skimmed past a headline before recording that said that it didn't show any foul play or anything out of the ordinary. He had battled, I think, alcohol and maybe drug issues beforehand, but who knows? Unbelievable. 28. If you're wondering who we're talking about, just type in Avicii on YouTube, and you will have songs that you'll recognize immediately.
Yeah, he had a couple of radio hits.
Yeah, Wake Me Up, and it was well known in the
Levels was the other one.
Well, very well known in the DJ and electronic music scene, to the point where he stopped touring, I believe, in 2014 or 15, and he was making upwards of $20 million a year. Just didn't want to do it anymore. So
crazy.
Tragic story. Found dead in his hotel room, I believe. Mm-hmm. Before that, Vern Troyer. We talked about him.
Yeah, Vern Troyer.
Mini-me.
That's sad,
It's sad that he's remembered that way, because, like you said, he seemed to be a great guy, battled some alcohol issues, but was always on social media making light of his dwarfism.
Yeah.
Seemed to be a funny guy, kind of in on the joke guy, which is always good to see, right?
Yeah. Made the best of it.
Sad, 49 years old. And first and foremost, Steve, it's the big week.
It's what?
It's the big week.
The big week.
The Avengers. Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's the big week. So here we have 10 years. It's finally culminating, Steve. It began. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. Phase 1. Happens again. Iron Man 2008 all culminates this week with the Avengers Infinity War, the beginning of the end. Now, Thanos is making an appearance. Now, this is interesting because this is Josh Brolin as Thanos. Josh Brolin also in the Deadpool movie as Hero Cable. Let's start it. And my headphones out again. I mean, it's okay. It's an intergalactic battle for the universe, Steve. This is very. Do we need another mixer?
Appreciate you listening this week to the Stephen Kyle podcast. You can download, subscribe, and review the show.
The Guardians of the Galaxy are making
and iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play,
characters.
TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube,
Spider-Man!
Don Libsyn, StephenKyle.Libsyn, LIBSYN.com. Thanks so much for all of the interaction we've had over the last week and the couple of polls that we've had up on Facebook and Twitter. If you go to Facebook.com/StephenKyle. Again, at StephenKyle on Twitter. There's a new poll up there right now. We're going to try to do them at least once a week or so.
Very good.
Just to keep people interested somewhat in what we're talking about. But so next week we'll be back with other things that we don't have planned yet, because normally we don't do a lot of planning for this here podcast.
This week was the least planned one we've had in months.
And it still went 2 hours.
Yeah, enjoy that beautiful, beautiful content.
All right, talk to you next week.